Hello, everybody. Doc Hydro with you again. Listen, wanted to give you a little product update on the Engineer's engine pumping calculator. That is the spreadsheet that has multiple tabs, and those tabs are hydro and PDP, a multi-leg section, helicopters and water tender tab, which allows you to actually match the flow. So if you know that you got, for an example, if you know that you've got like 2 or 3 helicopters and they're making continuous trips back and forth to your dip tank, then you can get the bucket size of those, and then you can match what you need for water tenders, so that way you don't have to shut down operations and wait for the water tenders to replenish the stock tanks and et cetera, et cetera. And then it's got a thermo tab, and the thermo tab allows you to rapidly calculate the heat absorption or cooling capacity of water at a various altitude. Or what you can do is you can take a helicopter bucket size. So let's say you got a Type 3 and it's got a 180-gallon bucket. You can enter in the estimated water temperature for that and then your altitude that you're working at, and it will tell you how much BTU each bucket can cool down on a fire. So then you got time, distance, and nozzle. And so it's multiple things exactly that. You can calculate time of and distance of resources, aircraft. You can compute all those distances and speeds. And then you can determine the required vacuum to raise water a certain distance. Or if you've got a barometric pressure reading, that will tell you how high up a draft tube that you can actually expect to pull water, etc. And then also you can determine, based upon a pressure or a flow, you can determine what the orifice size would be, or you can determine the discharge in gallons per minute. Okay, and then also you have a friction loss layout tab, which allows you to take a particular hose size and say, I want to flow X number of gallons a minute out this thing, and this is my hose. What's my friction loss going to be? And it will instantly tell you what that is. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs, and it will allow you to do everything from the basic um, PDP calculations, and it'll even break it down. It'll even tell you the way that I've got it. It will even tell you how much time in minutes it's going to take from water to get to one point to another. And that right there is a pretty critical deal because when you think about it, um, if you go to this particular fire, and this fire took place in 2022, this is a particular division on the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire in 2022. And this was a planned hose lay that they were doing uh, for a firing operation. So getting back to what I was talking about in terms of planning for, how long is it going to take water to get from, let's say, your platform 1 all the way up to platform 6, or even to move water up to the last uh, snap tank here? Is going to be pretty critical because I used an example that if they start burn operations at 9:30, but yet 20 minutes goes by, and then they tell you, "Hey, we need water, and it's got to get all the way up here to the top." It's going to take an hour and a half for water to get there, so it's going to be close to noon by the time water gets to the top in this particular example. Um, but the beauty of using um, the spreadsheet, the engine pumping calculator, is that it's got all of this information that you're seeing right here in this is in the spreadsheet. And it will actually calc out, and I'm sorry about the glare. The overhead scanner that I got, it really does a poor job with lighting here. And I think that's probably going to be about it. You may not be able to see it clearly, but in the on the website for the store, wildfireengineer.online, you can click down on the spreadsheet link, and then you can see the screenshots of what this thing is. Now, this particular screenshot, I've had it for several years. This was like one of the originals that I did for this particular hose lay when a student of mine, or former student of mine, was an engine captain. He was down there on that fire and set this thing up, and I noticed a particular problem between 1 and 2, asked him what the distances were, and plugged it into this, which uh, saves a lot of time when you're in the field. So just wanted to give you a product update, that the spreadsheet's been updated, and it even allows a multi-leg track that you can plan out, which is this right here. So think of all of these columns here as separate inputs. Well, I've got 7 down here because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we split 1 and 2 into 2 parts. So that makes a 7th one. And so you can get your distances and lengths and elevations and your flows, enter it into this, which is on the multi-leg tab, and it will actually sum up your individual leg pressures, and then it will tally everything on the far right so that it should match the original numbers that you came up with for your quick and dirty. So at any rate, that's basically that. Like I said, just wanted to give a quick update on that. And again, wildfireengineer.online is the store. When you get there, click on the store tab and or link, and it will take you to this. And you can do all kinds of things with it. You can calculate pump discharge pressure for like flow testing. You can get an estimate of what you're supposed to have and run the numbers through it, and it's great for that. You can determine flow rates through nozzles. There's a lot of things that you can do with the spreadsheet. And I developed the spreadsheet because after so many years of doing it with pencil and calculator, I got tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again. And so I came up with the spreadsheet. So I think you'll have a really good time with this thing. It'll save a lot of time for those that need to pump a lot of water a long distance and you got multiple ups and downs and everything else. This makes quick work out of that. And as a result, it will even calculate for you the recommended spacing between pumps. So whether you're using engines or Mark IIIs or Wichs or Hondas or whatever you're using, as long as you know what your safe pump discharge pressures are going to be that you can attain and maintain almost indefinitely, you'll enter that number in here, and then all of the calculations are done for you. It also will tell you um, what the required amount of hose is going to be. So let's say you got to run parallel lines like Siamese hose. You need to do like a 2, 3, or 4, or even a 5 line drop. But here I'm showing 4. It will auto calculate the hose that you need for that. It pretty much is designed to calculate everything that you would need for you. So that way you can focus on actually getting things set up and put into place. And then all you need to do is go with the operation. Anyway, that's it, guys. Any questions? Hydro at wildfireengineer.com. That's hydro at wildfireengineer.com. And I will look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers.